introduce Brigette McCoy. And we're here in San Diego today at the National Women Veterans of America Association at their first Healing and Hiring event here. And I would like to introduce our first guest. So Brigette, a few years ago, you started this group called Women Veterans Social Justice.
That's correct.
Can you tell me why it was important for you to start this group?
Well, initially, I kept running into situations where I couldn't find information about resources and services that were available to veteran women. And so because of my own situation with post-traumatic stress, with issues with homelessness, and wanting to network with other veteran women to find, employment or opportunities and things like that, just wasn't finding that on the ground. So I translated that to Facebook, and I said, maybe if there's no one locally in my area that wants to connect, maybe I can find some people who are out there on the net that would.
So really, Facebook was kind of an avenue for you to get first of all, to start this group, and second of all, I'm sure it changed your life.
Absolutely. Within a couple of weeks, I had 400 and some odd people on the page, and they were supporters or they were actually veteran women, and then from those connections, then it got broader to more people coming onto my page and posting information and being invited to other groups that were on Facebook or just getting started. And so it really did open up a world for me, because initially I thought if I can get if information wasn't available to me, then there are other people that are looking for information and they don't know where to find it. So let me be a catalyst to make that information available to others.
And I think it's kind of important for people to know a little bit about your own personal story. So if you can tell me what branch of the service you served in and what happened to you when you were in the military.
I was in the United States Army. I served during the beginning of the first Gulf War, 1987 and 91. And I was stationed in Germany, and most people don't realize that in Germany we were on high alert and we were doing patrols and things like that because we were having bombings on our bases. Mm-hmm. So I was stationed there, and I was going data telecommunications was my specialty. And during my service, my first 90 days in country, I was raped by one of my NCOs. So getting out toward the end, the reason that I ended up getting out was because I was facing some more sexual harassment, and I just felt like it was enough. It was enough, and so I reported it. And after that reporting, there was just a series of things that happened: extra duty, extra situations coming up from there, and then leading me on my way out to the military.
It's really unfortunate that kind of thing is still happening
20 some odd years later.
Yes, ma'am. And we've all recently heard the big scandal going on in the Air Force and what's going on with that. But what I found remarkable is that you have found a way to rise above that and become a spokeswoman for your generation of veterans. That's basically what you're doing.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about it,
yeah.
And Tara Weiss is doing the same thing with the National Women Veterans Association of America, because if we are not banded together as a group, how do we make our voices heard? I mean, this is one of the reasons we do the TV show.
Absolutely.
But it's also why we're here in San Diego today is getting to know each other, network, and finding out what resources are available.
Exactly.
So because of what happened to you in the military and the fact that when you were on active duty, you actually had the courage to stand up and say, you know what, this is what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because you actually wanted to make the military your career.
Yes. When I left Los Angeles in 1987, I said, I'm going to be in the Army. This is going to be my career. I'm going to retire. I'm maybe going to start a business and do some other things, but I pretty much felt like that was going to be it. There's still a feeling I get when I hear the boots hitting the concrete when there's marching. I mean, there's just still such a love for the service, for military service, and the military servicemen and women who fight and defend our country. There's just such a love for them.
So since you're not in the military anymore, really what you've done through the establishing of the Women Veterans Social Justice Group. You've actually created your own group, and this is your career now, is being a women veterans advocate.
Pretty much. I travel different places, for therapeutic arts for myself, but also to meet the other veteran women who are out there and let them know that just because we don't openly say, or wear a tattoo, MST, or homelessness, that there are women who have been homeless, who have MST as part of their history, but that we're moving on, but we're not forgetting that there are others that are still struggling through that process. And so more of what I want to do is create hope by going to these events, but also get healing for myself, because it's very therapeutic for me to meet sisters and say, we're not alone. And for me to say, I'm not alone, because here you are, and we're going through this together, even though I might be a little at a different place on the road than you are, but we're still going through this together. Maybe we can, shore up each other and get there where we want to go a little bit quicker.
And that really is the key, because we don't want people hiding in their houses.
No.
We want you to come out, get services,
Yes.
meet people,
Yes.
Get registered at the VA, get involved in a veteran service organization, American
Absolutely.
Legion, AMVETS, Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Disabled American Veterans,
Exactly.
any of these groups, because really united as a group of people with like-minded individuals and the similar goals, we can truly change the world.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, I've met women that say, well, there is no program in my area. There's not anything in my area. No one meets in my area. And I say, well, great. That's a great opportunity for you to go to your VA and say, well, we don't have a women veteran group here. What would it take to start one? And then be the change you want to see. And that's it.
Be the change you want to see. Thank you so much, Brigette.
Mm-hmm.